Welcome back to Boruto Anime Review, episode number 274. This time reviewing the 274th episode of the anime, Flightless Hawk. Now, this kind of in a way does start a brand new story arc. Though, from what I could tell, it's a quick two-parter. Yeah, good idea. Excuse me, given the fact we just came off a 13-part story arc already, we don't need to have another one right after. I don't mind a quick two-part, that's perfectly fine. Heck, I wouldn't mind a standalone episode. Yes. Also, this is the first episode since episode 260 that we've actually have focused on Boruto. There's been 14 episodes since then. In the previous 13 episodes, 271, 273. Guess how many times Boruto showed up in those episodes? 4 times. In 13 episodes. Mainly because he was not the focus. Don't really go an explanation of what the heck he was up during those episodes, surprisingly. And here's something, though. We start off with Boruto and Sasuke going to a foreign country to go visit a hawk. To go see something about a hawk. Meanwhile, briefly back in Hidden Leaf Village, we see Sadara trading with her beautiful mother, Sakura. With Shuriken. And that's it. They have a brief conversation. And that's it. Last you see in the whole episode. It's great to see. Now, Sadara, I'm happy to see her because we just saw her last episode. But it's even more awesome that we finally get to see Sakura. And she actually has lines. Because 2 or 3 times she's appeared in the series. And she has no lines. I'm like, seriously? No lines for Sakura. Yep. But hey, she's still beautiful. She's only 32 years old, but she's beautiful. Can't deny that. So I've heard a rumor about a couple years ago that one of the future plans they have for the series was to have Sakura become a mother once again. This time having a son with Sasuke. Yeah, I've seen some images of it, but the thing is, it has not come to fruition just yet. I heard about this from a friend of mine, but I haven't basically. There's nothing really come of it. So we have now. Here's the thing. Mitsuki, not seeing this episode. Do not know where he is. Kawaki, I get maybe give him some time off because he just had a 13 episode story arc with him and Wari in it, where they're practically the stars of that story arc. And I get the reason why he's not here. But Mitsuki, yeah, they don't give a reason why he's not here. Or even Konohamaru. So they go to the country and they get together, no problem. Then they get to the region and there's this chief of security, as he calls him. Basically, he's a paid-off police officer who's got a wolf, and he thinks they're sketchy due to the fact they're different from what they are. Well, he is. Oh, you mean basically being overweight and lazy bum? Yeah, the fact he basically loves getting payments. And apparently the whole country is basically run by this person. The law basically, now normally what the law states with this woman, what she does is actually illegal. But apparently, she has a thing where the law does whatever she wants, based upon her whim. Basically, she's kind of the facto rule of the country, even though she has legal authority. So they go visit the hawk researcher that they're looking for. Looking for this Circe hawk, which apparently can fly 1,000 leagues, basically over 1,000 miles without resting. That's pretty much what Sasuke wants. So, that's what happened to his previous hawk. They don't say. It's kind of bizarre. I'm like, didn't he already have a hawk already? Is he going to get a replacement? This is something that's not really explained here. It's nice to see Sasuke again. The fact he's actually focused on a story arc. But why in the world he's looking for a hawk is never explained. So they get there like, oh crap, there's a rock slide. The guy, apparently this guy has suffered through not only the attempt to rock slide, but also threats, bribery, all this other stuff. Just get hands in one hawk. Who apparently is so rare that they just want to buy and sell it out of other people as basically his possessions. So you go visit the person, and the thing is, at first the owner wants to throw him out because they look poor. But due to the fact Boruto knows the feudal lord of the land of fire, they would basically speak to her. Mostly, but he doesn't know the feudal lord very well. He just knows his son. Yeah. Of course, he does admit to her son later on that he's a son of Hokage. Basically, Naruto's Mike is his father. Yeah, I keep forgetting the fact his mother is Hinata Hyuga, the daughter of the head of the Hyuga clan. Yep. So we first see her son. I believe his name is Tomoji. I think his name is, where he is seen like clean the stables because according to him, no one bothers to do it. That's interesting. So basically goes to clean up, and so apparently she has this, and they show off these rare possessions, which what she's doing is actually, they explain in the show it's illegal for her to do this, but probably because she pays off all the law enforcement, she's able to get away with this no problem. And she had a specific bird cage specifically made for this particular hawk. So then the Bart starts accusing her of being responsible for attacking the guy, and she has like, got any proof? And then him and Sasuke leave. Sasuke does not reveal who the heck he is to her. Because if he reveals identity to her, she'd be like, oh crap, it's Sasuke Uchiha. I'm sure even she knows about who Sasuke Uchiha is because the fact he's one of the people who helped save the world from basically infinite jutsu. You think people in the whole world would not? You think someone in this little area would not know who Sasuke Uchiha is, or Naruto Uzumaki, or heck, people probably would not think he would not know who even Sakura. Well, that's Sakura Hano, who's currently Sakura Uchiha, or even Kakashi. Kakashi people know who because he's basically world famous, just like his late father, the White Fang. The White Wolf, excuse me. So they go back to the place, and of course, Boruto is tasked to stay at the house while the old man takes Sasuke to the habitat area for these particular hawks. Because there actually is a reason for this. He's only allowed to take one person with him. And he picks Sasuke because Sasuke is probably the one who's seeking him out. And, sorry about that, little hair on my tongue. So, I know it's kind of gross, but that happened here. So they go to the habitat, and it took a little while, but then of course Sasuke puts his armor like it's basically on for a hawk, and the hawk basically on the tippy top of all these other hawks, it would come down no problem. He's like, wow, first time I've seen that. Probably because Sasuke is an expert comes to basically training hawks. Yep, and that's it for them the whole episode. Yeah. So meanwhile though, Boruto's relaxing. He runs to the owner's son, who has a hawk, a white hawk. Ends up basically training the hawk and teaching him how to read and write. And I was like, nah, you don't need that because it's expensive. And I'm like, okay, if he doesn't know how to read and write, okay, how would he not know how to run your business, lady? I mean, last time I checked, you need reading, you need writing etiquette in order to run a freaking business. Because simply saying, oh, I'll just run things because I'm freaking lazy. Because you probably don't know how to write. He thinks that going to school is a waste of time. Yeah, and of course he tries to his mama. His mama is like, nah, not interested. So, goodbye, go back to your room. And then she finds out about the hawk. She takes it away. Boruto is like, I'm not, like, she tries to threaten Boruto, but he's like, I am not amused by your threats. And of course they walk away, and that's in the episode. It is a good episode, and I do appreciate the fact this actually is. It feels as though for a Boruto episode, it feels a step up from a lot of the other stuff basically that's happened. I mean, there's nothing, no character really bad here per se. Nothing like, oh crap, we forgot something that somebody obviously knows. Take for instance, Sadara knowing medical jutsu. Apparently, she completely forgot in one episode. Yeah, how hard is it to treat a freaking wound? You know medical jutsu, Sadara, and yet you couldn't treat the one person from these people from the New Seven Swordsmen. You couldn't treat her because the writers completely forgot she knew that. Yeah, that's one of the biggest complaints about the previous arc before the last one. Yeah. And plus, the last arc had sort of a rushed ending to it because they had to solve that assassin plot and had to be that teacher. But this episode had clearly a main villain, a supporting villain, and basically a good story with it. I do appreciate this. Feels like a good fresh start. It's a good fresh start for a new story arc for the series. Not a reboot, just basically start of a fresh start for a brand new story arc. Okay, so that's episode of you. Next up is Case Closed, and it's on to, after that, would be Chainsaw Man. Yep. Next video. Bye.